Welcome. Tim Bartz here, Law MacArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the members. Welcome to the subscribers. Welcome to those that are new to our YouTube channel. We are going to be recording this as a live podcast as well. So recorded several different podcasting platforms out there to choose from. Spotify, iHeartMedia. It is cast and put onto Podbean and then put out from there. And I think we're getting pretty close, almost to 4,000 downloads of the podcast. And so we do actually on those different formats, not only do we post a podcast from this live stream, but also on the Facebook one. So if ever you're maybe you're not on Facebook or something, you can go to one of those formats and you can check out and listen to that one. And that one is probably more, there's not much visual on it because it's really, I'm just answering questions the entire hour. Last week it was an hour and 40 minutes. A lot of questions that night, but definitely check that out. And you can go ahead and listen to those later if you want to. So don't forget that. And if you are new, a new person in here, don't forget you can subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live on our live streams here on our YouTube channel, as well as when we go live with any other videos. Which speaking of that, I do want to talk a little bit about the videos coming. This last week, we haven't had really any videos to record. I've had some to record, but I've just been really busy with a lot of questions and interest in the 2023 Ford Maverick, so we've been dealing with that. So I didn't get a lot of videos, but I was able to record a video on the new Forest Edition Ford Ranger. So we got one of those in recently, and I was able to do a video on that outside. We'll see how the audio comes out when Sarah edits that, but hopefully that won't go live this week, as well as hopefully between now and next Tuesday we'll get the order guides for the 2023 Ford F-150, and we'll be able to be doing some videos on that as well. So and now do keep in mind, you will see some people in here that are members. There's colors are highlighted there with icons in different colors based on how long they've been a member. If you want to become a member, you can do that. Several different ways to do that. If you hit that little right beside where you subscribed, there's a join button down there. So click on that, get a little more information about the different perks that we have as being a member. It's $5 a month. No need to be a member, of course. Don't require that, but if you want to get learn a little bit more about Law MacArthur and myself, become a member, and there's some extra perks in there that I think you'll appreciate, especially if you're wanting to get a vehicle from Law MacArthur. Oops, there we go. Especially if you want to get in a vehicle from Law MacArthur, you can get some special perks for that as well. a lot of members. We're up over 100 members, which just floors me. So thank you to all the members out there. And don't forget to be checking out our weekly member videos that I do every Saturday. We do a lot walk and some other information there. So make sure you're checking out those weekly videos that we do there. And then make sure you're sending us your mailing address. We need that information too. So be looking for that and watch those. Okay, so got all that introductions out of the way. Also, don't forget too, we have our Maverick meetup coming up. And I do want to preface this in that the Maverick meetup is for everyone. So I think some people were maybe implied that it was for the members only. No. The Maverick meetup is basically like a big car show or rally for people that like or maybe own a Ford Maverick or like the Ford Maverick and want to come check out other people's Ford Maverick. So you can drive your Ford Maverick in, even if you don't have one or you don't want to drive your Maverick in. Maybe you're a long ways away and just want to come on in. You can come to the event anyway. So it is a free event. It's going to be at Lakewood Park in Salina August 13th. There's a nice park. You can see some of the visuals there if you're watching this on the YouTube video here. We have frisbee golf there, some beautiful nature trails. You can go walking around if you enjoy that. There's a pond if you want to bring a kayak, canoe, go out. Fishing poles, bring those. There is fishing there at that lake too. So it's going to be a blast, and we're going to have, Zorb balls and rock crawling walls, plus a lot of Mavericks. So we have, we're going to try to hopefully get everybody that owns a Maverick here in town there. We have, I know at least 30 people that have registered a Ford Maverick here in Salina that hopefully will be there, and some other people that are close that will come in. So I think a classmate of mine might be bringing his Maverick up, Kip here. Hopefully he comes up to the event as well. So it'll be a blast. We'll be there. I'll be there. Should have my Ford Lightning by then. It's in KC right now, by the way. So I'm real excited. I'm like, oh, it's just so close. In fact, my wife went to Kansas City yesterday, and I'm like, pick up the Lightning while you're there. But no. So it is. It's in KC. Hopefully it'll be here in the next couple weeks, and I'll have that there as well for you guys to check out, and probably even power our live stream from there. Using the Ford F-150 Lightning, so that'd be fun. Anyway, so that's there, and then don't forget Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. He is in the chat. I did see him earlier, a couple messages there. So he is there. He has a great YouTube channel based out of Canada. So if you're a Canadian viewer, I know a lot of times people will ask me, "Hey, is it the same in Canada?" I don't know, but he would know because he's based in Canada. So I think it's good getting somebody from up there as well as here. And so check out his channel too. He's a great YouTube channel. He had a great live stream on Sunday. Hopefully he does that on a weekly basis, because that was a lot of fun to do that and have some questions from him. So check out his YouTube channel. Link is in the description, as well as other links as well. And we'll have some article links in there. I forgot to put them in before the live stream, but I'll put them in right after the live stream, so you guys will have that if you want to check out those links later. Shouldn't take me too long to get those links in there to some great articles. So all right, so let's get into, in about 23 minutes and 48 seconds or so on my time, probably a little later on yours, we will have our episode for tonight. So I think it'll be fun, how to get your 2023 Ford Maverick order in early. So it's more kind of the process that we're going to use for a lot of those early order. People want to get in that first day and get in line early so they can get their Ford Maverick as soon as possible, for those that already have a 22 order in the order bank. So we'll talk about that and how we're going to do it, and how hopefully I think there's other dealerships doing it the same way, and what you can do to kind of solidify and get your order into your local dealer as quick as possible. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about a good news moment. So Rick Forget sent me, I don't know if that's his real last name, but hopefully you don't forget his last name. But he commented in here and sent me something. He said, when I picked up my Maverick XLT Lux package and Copilot 360 with moonroof, I was told I was their last allocation. You had said to switch over spray and bed liner to the drop-in bed liner luxury package. Well, I took your advice and told them to switch them. He was unsure if he could do it. I told him you said Ford can before it closed, but Canadian orders still could after U.S. orders closed it. I don't remember saying that. I don't really remember saying that, but I think the information might have come from Johnny. Well, that was holding up my order, and it was their final allocation left for 22 model year. I am driving my Maverick now, and every time I start it up, I feel very thankful for your help and very lucky to have watched your channel. Thank you for all your help. So glad we can help help out. And you got a chance now Rick is driving his Ford Maverick, and so that's good stuff there. Let's get into some scheduling information for this week. I'm trying to kind of stick to my time. I'm pretty close there, but so scheduling this week, of course, they had told us earlier for our production information for the month that the Edge, Escape, plug-in, Mach-E, and the Transit Connect wagon would not be scheduling this month, but I think some of them are scheduling throughout the month. But let's go through each model here. So the Bronco is not scheduling this week. The Bronco Sport is a build out this month, so they're going to do limited retail scheduling. So some Bronco Sports might get scheduled. I think we have actually I had that list. Let me grab my list here, because I actually have all of ours down of what's scheduling and what's previewing and such for this week. So the Bronco Sport, we have 18 allocations for this month to kind of finish out. I think our retails will get scheduled out. We do have 15 of those previewing so far this week, and I think all of the retail orders that we have should get scheduled this month. Escape is not scheduling this week. Oh, Edge. I almost skipped over Edge. So it said Edge isn't scheduling, but it's on here as being limited scheduling this week. So that might happen. Escape, no scheduling today. Expedition, on the Edge we have 0 allocations and 0 orders, I don't think, in there, except for some stock allocations, or stock orders, I mean. Escape is not scheduling. Expedition is not scheduling. Explorer, and just in case you're wondering, Escape for us, we do have 11 allocations this month, and Expedition we have 5 allocations this month, and that's not counting the plugins, so keep that in mind. Explorer, it does say limited retail scheduling this week. We do have 13 allocations, and it looks like we have 13 previewing today. F-150 is scheduling for the week of 8/29. No power boost scheduling though. And so in F-150 we do have 47 allocations for this month, and we have 11 that should schedule to this week, but none of them are previewing today. And I had somebody actually talk to me about that, emailed me and said, do you really think, because they said they're not going to carry over any F-150 orders, that they're really going to get them all scheduled and ordered, because there's a lot of people that don't have theirs. And I looked at our orders, and so I said, you know what, he might be right. But I looked at our orders, we have 47 allocations, we have 44 left to schedule, and we still have next month to schedule. So I really do think F-150s probably can get scheduled if we're looking at our allocations and our orders. It looks like about all of our 22 F-150 orders will probably get scheduled and not get carried over. So that's a good thing to see there. Maverick, it is scheduling for the week of 9/5. In fact, they scheduled today. We have 17 allocations for this month. 8 of them got scheduled today, all hybrids. And so actually I was going to see, let me see if I can get this working right here first. So let me pull that up. I was going to actually see if we can get this showing up right here. Yeah, looking right. So there we go. So there we go. So there is what's scheduling for us, or what's scheduled. And if you look, these are my hybrid tab here, and it is our oldest 8 orders. So a lot of people ask, well, they're not going in order. Our oldest 8 did schedule, and even the ones that had that Looms bed lighting on there, because I know they want to get them scheduled. So we will have all of June or July and August pretty much are scheduled now. Well, now we're looking to September, and maybe those September ones will get scheduled next week, because we have, I think, a very few number there. Let's see, we only have, how many did I look? I think we have 8. Yeah, we have 8. We have 8 September orders left. So those will probably all get scheduled this month as well. So that's looking pretty good for us. So liking that there. Moving on to Mach-E, we do have 1 allocations for the month. Mach-E has limited retail scheduling, even though they said they wouldn't schedule this month. So we'll see. Mustang is scheduled, no scheduling this week, although we have six allocations, and 6 we're previewing today. So I don't know what that means. Not sure why they preview them and if they're not going to schedule them. Ranger, no scheduling. We do have 1 allocation for that. Super Duty is scheduling for the week of 8/8, which is just around the corner. And we do have 65 allocations this month. We have 51 previewing today even though they say that only 14, we're only going to get 14 actual scheduled this week. It looks like we might get up to 51 of those, so that's good. So Super Duty, there's a question at the end later when we get to Q&A that somebody asked about, some of that, issues with that, but we're getting 65 allocations this month, so I think we're going to see that. Transit. 23 transits are scheduling for the week of 9/5. We don't have any transit orders right now, I don't believe. Transit Connect van scheduling for the week of 9/5 or 9/12, and we have no transit van or wagon scheduled or on orders. Transit Connect wagon also for the same weeks, but again, for some reason they said that they're not scheduling this month, so I don't know if I'd guarantee that. Looking at the Lincoln lineup, we have Lincoln Aviator. It does have, says limited retail only, so very small number probably. Corsair for the weeks of 8/1 to 8/29. And Nautilus says retail only this week. And Lincoln Navigator, no scheduling this week. So this is kind of a breakdown of what's scheduling this week and such on that. Now I want to get into some dealer news and updates. I will get to any questions here in a little bit. Thank you to the moderator and some others in there that are saying, make sure you tag @LawMacArthur so I can go back and find those easily. And so I'll get back to those questions here in just a little bit. But first, I want to talk about some dealer news, some updates. Usually these demo memos that are sent out to the dealers through our dealer portal. Most people don't pay attention to those, but I do. So here we are. So one of them I want to talk about actually something that I found myself, and that was, we talked a little bit about this, I think, last week, about the price increase on the Maverick. So I reached out to the brand manager, said, noticed that about everything went up about $1,000. What's going on with that? I did ask him that. So he said, well, the price for the 22 Mavericks sold from dealer stock is increasing by $1,000 for hybrid and $350 for Ecoboost due to increased component costs. Previously placed 22 Maverick retail customer orders are price protected at the 22 model year price level when their retail order was placed and will not increase. So we have seen on the website that it's $1,000 higher to go up to those, and then the Ecoboost is actually like a $350 increase or something, a very small increase. And they said mainly that's for people that want to put a stock order. So you might ask, how are dealers put in stock orders when not scheduling all the retails? Well, here's how that works. So if a dealer has allocations, right, and let's say it's a smaller dealership that only gets a few allocations, but let's say they earn an allocation based on a retail order they have. Let's say they have one order left, right, to get scheduled, and they get an allocation for that one order. Let's say that order is something that they can't build. Let's say that order it's a hybrid with a luxury package with Copilot 360, and they put a tonneau cover on there. And that's a constraint because of maybe the tonneau cover or the luxury package. They may not schedule that order, but if there's an order in there, they'll still give that dealer an allocation, or they'll still fulfill that allocation. So they don't want those carrying over to the next month. So they'll earn the allocation based on a retail order. But if that retail order cannot be scheduled, they want to give that dealership their allocation. So if there's a stock order in there, then they will give that. So something to keep in mind here in a couple months, you might see some stock units start popping up at some of those smaller dealerships. So just maybe keep your eye out for that out there. So and then moving on. So also Maverick order guide and Ford configure. So Maverick, I did get this information. I kind of knew what the answer is going to be, but I put it out there anyway. And brand manager had said the Maverick order guide availability is still being discussed internally, and I will provide you an update as soon as I have more information. It's probably, this comes from me, it's probably going to be on 8.2 or maybe 8.1 become available. Hopefully they allow us and they send that order guide to dealers so we can be prepped. You know, it's really bad if they open the order guide on 8.2 and everybody comes to dealerships to order vehicles and the salespeople don't even know how they can order them because you didn't give them the order guide until the same day. That doesn't help the dealerships prepare. I mean, how can you be a good educated salesperson if you don't know any information about how you can configure or order a vehicle. So hopefully, I'm very passionate about this because I always am wanting to know how I can help our customers, and it's really difficult to do that when you don't give us order guides ahead of time. So I really think that they will. I really think that they'll give it to us. My fear is they wait until Monday to give us an order guide and let us get ready for that, because the first is not the fun day, the most enjoyable day to do. We have month end to kind of figure out what each person's has earned and made from the month before to get paid on, and that's the same day you're going to send out an order guide. Hopefully they do it like on Friday or over the weekend or something, so we can have over the weekend to dissect this and of course get videos out there for you. But otherwise, hopefully it's not the second, but so it's probably going to be either the first or the second, or maybe the Friday before. But we will learn a little more information because the F-150 order banks open on Monday. And so hopefully we learn more from that. I will tell you right now, the 2023 F-150 order guide is not available yet. So we are, 6 days away from that opening up. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens this week, see when order guide becomes available, and kind of gauge it from there. And that might give us a good idea of what to expect on the Maverick based on the F-150. So keep that in mind. Just another side note, 23 Ranger order bank, the opening for that did move. It was originally supposed to be July 18th, and last week they did tell us it's been moved to August 2nd. So not only do we have the Maverick, the Bronco Sport, as well as the Edge and Explorer, but let's throw in the Ford Ranger and let's take orders on all 5 of them and open those up the same day. Why not? 22 Escape plug-in order banks close today. So if you didn't get your order in, it's probably too late because your dealership's probably closed like we are. But hopefully you got information about that if you're wanting a 22 Escape plug-in. Order bank should open on those September 18th or 19th, I believe, with the gas versions as well. So something I want to talk about real quickly. We got a while here. Questions. We had about 5 questions last week that we talked about that I put out to the brand manager and to the Ford team to try to get some answers on Maverick information. So I want to go through and tell you I didn't get much this week. In fact, I don't think I got a reply. I did figure a couple things out, so let me run through some of the questions we had. One of them was, will incentives from the original order date on 22 model year order be honored? Didn't get any information on this. I don't think they're going to honor it. I think your incentives are going to be whatever they are when you place your 22 order. That's my fear. That's what my gut says. But again, that's my speculation, not anybody else's, so just throwing that out there. The second question was, if 22 unscheduled order holders want to submit their 23 order with a different dealership, will their private offer and priority over 22 orders be honored? So here's a quote from them. It says the 23 model year private offer extended to 22 model year customers with unscheduled retail orders is specific to the customer, not the dealer. So if the customer chooses to change the dealer with which they place their 23 model year Maverick retail order, that new dealer will be able to access their private offer in Smart Vincent. He said, we are still working through the scheduling prioritization steps for those customers that transition from 22 to 23 and plan to share those details with our dealers very soon. We're like 2 weeks away here, people. How soon is very soon? But here's something we learned on a order for a customer on a Transit. So Transit has the same process. They started this process of how they're going to do these on the Transit back in June. So here's what we have. One person I put in and said, hey, we have a Transit customer that had an order, 22 order in with their dealership and wants to switch to us. How does that going to work for their private offer and their prioritization? I thought, this is going to be a chance for me to get this information out and see what is going to happen for the Maverick. Because if it happens that way for the Transit, the same process is going to happen for the Maverick. And so they let me know that the private offer will be good for them, but the prioritization would not be. So on the Transit, they prioritize if your order is with the same dealer. Should be the same for Maverick or Bronco, right? So I kind of got some information by using another model as an example and got the answer that I assumed and figured. So if you do have one out there, you're going with a different dealership, more than likely you're going to get you're not going to get prioritized on your order, but you will get the private offer amount. So so take that what it is. But if you're with a dealership maybe that isn't real quick on the ball and everything, and they don't know exactly how to do things, it might be tricky because again, we don't have information yet. My assumption is we won't get information until like the week before, if we're lucky. So the next question we had was, oh, by the way, before we do that, I want to thank Kip. Kip is welcome to the Lawn MacArthur crew, a new member. So all the members applaud him. So I want to thank him for becoming a member. Thank you very much. Number 3 question I had was, since the private offer amount is based on their 22 order with equipment packages on those orders, and they remove items to try to get scheduled, will their private offer be less since they took items off their order if it still becomes unscheduled? Crickets on this one. They're not telling me anything, and I'll probably won't tell me anything because they want to wait. So Ford's really good about not wanting to give you negative information or negative answers. So if it's not a good thing, they don't want to share it. They don't want to tell you until it happens. So I think it's, I applaud, Ford in the sense of, always being spreading positivity on this, but sometimes we just want to know things. Here's my take, and probably this is my speculation. Not Ford's, but I think what will happen is if you take off that luxury package. So now let's remember this. Now, price increases went up in December for the base XL price, the base Lariat price, and of course your 2 luxury packages, XLT and Lariat, your Copilot 360 package, as well as your moonroof. Those are the items that the price increased on. So if you had an order prior to December 27th, then that's probably what your offer is going to be included, is going to be that amount. Or if there's any increase like that $1,000 we did see that's showing on the website right now. So if you had, like, let's say you had the Copilot, which was $80 more, and an XLT, which was $80 more, so your private offer would be probably $160, possibly plus $1,000 for that if that price do hold from what's on the website right now. So if you went to that same order and order the same thing, they'd probably give you a private offer of $1,160, right? So if you take off a package, your offer is going to be less. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. Again, no information from Ford. That's just me speculating. That's what I think. So I think, adding a bedliner or a optional bedliner, I should say, or like a tonneau cover, something like that, won't give you a higher private offer because those were not price increased. Those prices didn't go up. So just putting that out there, that's probably what's going to happen, because basically they're trying to price protect if you order the exact same thing for 23. So, and it would be any prices that might have increased. So I hope I explained that well. Number 4 was, will orders that were ordered in June be prioritized over those orders ordered later, or will all 22 orders be prioritized over 23 the same? Again, no information from Ford, and I'd hate to speculate on this one because I'll probably be wrong, but looking at the Bronco orders, when they moved those over, of course they are doing it differently than they did on the Bronco. When they moved them over, all of the 21 orders all had the same order date on theirs. So unless Ford has it internally and we're not able to see that, I don't know how that'll work. So I do know that they could use the ROVP number as a possible placing that into the order system, and we put that in there, and that might help us know when those are. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to gauge that. So my fear is that they'll all be the same date. But I don't know for sure. Again, I hate to speculate, which I already did, but so hopefully Ford figures that out. Again, that's something that they're working on. They're going to let us know soon. I feel like I'm being negative on Ford today, and I don't mean to do that because they give us information, and I shouldn't do that because got to be friendly to Ford, right? So because they do a lot of things and give us a lot of information, and they do a better job than a lot of other manufacturers. So number 5, if those with a 22 order would like to hold out for 23 order, is there any way they can hold out and still get the private offer? Hold out for 23. So basically, is there something they can do their order so they don't get scheduled and can get pushed to 23? I think this is, they didn't give, again, Ford didn't give me an answer on this either. But I think that what I've been recommending is add something to it that's a constraint item that you wouldn't mind having on your order just in case it does get scheduled. So I've mentioned to customers splash guards, or if you want a bed extender, there are some of those items that if you put on there that we would actually just buy back from you, and we'll put it on and have it in our stock to put on somebody else's vehicle if they wanted to. So that's something that depends on how willing your dealership is to work with you on that. Just throwing that out there. So, all right, well. Wow, I'm almost out of time. The Is It True for this week, let me jump into that real quick before we get into our topic, and then we'll cover some Ford news, some fun news after my topic of the week. So this week's, it says, Is It True is, I heard that order banks for the Ecoboost opens 8/2, but the hybrid is still 8/15. So there are a lot of people that are throwing that out there, and that's based on this image. And if you're watching this on a podcast, I'll just kind of go over what the image is. This image is, if you look at the very top, is from the Fleet Distribution News Bulletin, and this is for companies that are looking to get vehicles. So for the listed on the Maverick, they have Maverick and the Maverick Hybrid in two different rows there, and they have for the 23 order bank opening, they have 8/2 for the Maverick, and they have 8/15 for the hybrid. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is for fleet dealers. It is not for the retail customers. So they're ordered two different ways. And it is confirmed from the brand manager, from our Ford rep, from about everybody from Ford. Order banks open up for the EcoBoost and the hybrid on 8/2. So putting that out there, so bust that myth there. Now, one of the things I did want to show you this, I have a little bit of time right now, kind of fun that I noticed, I pulled this up and noticed this other part of this right above the Maverick. Check this out. BEV in parentheses Lightning. So a lot of people are asking, when is the Lightning? When are we going to be able to start seeing more scheduling of those reservations, switching those over to order? When are we going to be able to see that? If you look at this graphic, I know this is for fleet, but a lot of them correspond to both retail and fleet. Scheduling begins, it says 8/4/22. So take that what it is. Looks like to me that week is when they'll probably start scheduling out for wave invites to go out. So could be early August. There was on the Lightning forum out there, the F-150 Lightning forum, somebody had posted that they knew that something was going to go out this week to dealers, letting them know what's going on and when that opens up, and they wouldn't reveal their source. So I don't know if it was somebody internally from Ford or not, but they also said there's be some different colors, including a couple grays. And so anyway, so don't know how valid that is, but this here looks like it could be happening here in August coming up. So, all right, this week's, oh, that's not dropping off. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. Something happened to my counter here. So let me pull that up and let me stop that bad boy. Sorry about that. There we go. I'll fix that for next week. All right. So this week, how to get your 2023 Ford Maverick order in early. So let's say you don't have an order in yet and you want to place your order. Let me get my notes here, because actually we shared this with our sales guys today. So you want to get that order in as soon as possible. How can you do that? Now, we are looking at it and we were actually saying, well, we kind of need to see the order guide first. And for a while, I actually mentioned that to a lot of our customers, is that, and even in the live stream, that there's no reason to be taking any pre-orders right now because we don't know how they're going to be configured for 2023. And that is true. But my general manager, shared with me, he said, well, keep in mind, they're going to close down. The last 22 is going to be built October 24th, and the first 23 is going to be built, October 21st. And then the first one for 23 will be built 3 days later on the 24th. He said they're not going to make a lot of changes in just 3 days. Retooling and everything, that takes a couple weeks if they introduce something significantly new for the model. He said, so his thinking is, at least at the launch, there probably won't be a lot of changes that will affect a lot of switching out of some things with the factory. Maybe some mid-year job order 2 things that could happen. And I'm not sure if I mentioned that in here or on the Facebook Live. Sometimes I get those, how often and different people I talk to, but it doesn't look like there'll probably be a lot of significant updates at the launch. People have asked about an ST, and there's some some information out there that I received that there could possibly be an ST for this year, or at least this year or next year, and that if there was, they want to order one of those, but that'd probably be a late availability, kind of like if you remember first edition Rapid Red was a late availability thing. So that's a possibility that some of these things, like maybe all-wheel drive hybrid, could be a late availability, that kind of thing. So at launch, probably not. So here's what we're doing with our customers. We are having our customers go to Ford.com and configure their 22. I did want to pull that up, so let me see if I can get that up here for us. Let me just double check and see that it looks good here. There we go, it is. There you go. So what we're having customers do is go to Ford.com and configure a 22 version. So we, and just so you guys know, the build and price for 23 will not be available for a couple weeks after the order banks open up. So you're probably going to be mid-August before we see this updated with the updated 23 information. So just so you know that. So what we're doing is having customers go here, configure their vehicle. You know, here's your, you know, if you configure an XLT, let's say you want an XLT and don't do anything, you want this color. We know colors could change or whatever, but we're telling them to go ahead and configure it, build it like it's a 22, and then send that to us. And it's really easy to do. If you hit the summary up here, it goes right down to it, and you can just share that. So hit the share button here. You just copy that link and then you shoot it into an email content box, and copy it in there, and go ahead and send that over to us. So I have a lot of people, I won't tell you the number, I have a lot of people that have reached out and want to get a 22, 23 order, and I've been taking that information and said, share that with us, because we can go ahead and do that. Because the most important thing is that we get that order submitted for you, get that timestamp as early as possible. So send us that information over. We're going to be able to submit that 23 order based on some of the information. So if we go to put in and your color's not available, we'll just pick another color real quick to get your order submitted. Keep in mind, you can change your order. You can update your order. Once we get 23 information, you're not seeing that. Well, I'm like talking right to the camera. You guys couldn't see me. So what we're saying is that once we submit that order, we put your information and everything in, so we can have that ready to go for you. So we can have that order in there, punched, time stamped at whatever, 9 a.m. You're the first one in there, got that order in at 9 a.m. with your name, information, everything, and then we get it submitted. That time stamps you right there of that order being submitted at that time. That gets it in early. And at that time, we have at least a month before they're going to start scheduling. In fact, pull that back up, this image here. So right here, we're seeing that they're going to be scheduling begins 9/15. So we have a full over a month to make any changes before they start scheduling. So we just need to have those updated by 9/15 for your order. So we'll have plenty of time to do that. So at that point, we'll get that order, we'll get all the information, get all the COVP stuff entered in, sent off to Ford, and then we can look at 23 with your salesperson. And of course, I'll be doing a lot of videos on that to go over that, and then you can update your order. So if we find out that your color's not available, what color would you like? Oh, eruption green's available this year. Then we can change that and make that change for you. So that's the best way, I think. For most dealers are taking pre-orders. So we're not doing deposits. Some are. So it's really up to the dealer's preference on that. But I'm taking those information. I'm having people send me those over. I'm making sure a mailing address is on there and everything I need, so that I can just boom, submit order, submit order, submit order. This one doesn't have an address. I can't do that. So I need that address. So that kind of information. So I actually did a video for some people. It's going to go live. I'm going to send it off to them probably tomorrow. Just because I got too busy today to send that off, just basically going through the same process. So that's just something to remember and keep in mind for next year. And don't forget, though, if you are building a vehicle off the 22 configure, for some reason they still have first edition on there and they still have the Rapid Red, help make sure you can't get a first edition in 2023, so don't build it that way. Your dealer might struggle and go, oh, I can't find it. It's not there. So a couple things I wanted to talk about, and I know there's a lot of questions in here. How about we do this? I'll answer some questions and we'll get into some Ford news information, so I can go over that with you guys, because there's some cool articles out that I want to talk about and there. But let's answer some questions. You guys have got questions in there, and I hate for you guys to have to sit and wait on me. So let's go back a little ways. Don't want to go back too far, but let's see here. Wow, there's quite a few in here. Okay, So we're going to go back a little ways here to Chris here, Chris Gilbert. So do you think all 22 F-150s will be built in the 22 model year? I don't have a VIN yet and see other F-150s getting scheduled for a build in early September. Yes, I think they will. Now for us, like I said, we have about 40, I think we have 46 orders left to schedule, and we have 44 allocations left this month, but then we'll have more allocations next month. So we got this month and next month for scheduling. I think next month is the build out for 22. And you know, just again, this same thing on the F1, on any of the vehicles, it has to be a certified COVP order. So I think we're going to see, a lot of, not a lot, hopefully not a lot. We're going to see some people that are going to be disappointed because their dealership didn't do their job and submit their order. And so they're going to look and say, my order didn't get scheduled. I thought Ford was going to schedule all of them and get all of them done. They're going to get all the approved orders, but if your dealer didn't get an approved order, your order's not being looked at. So that's something I would make sure. If you have a priority 2 order, if you talk to your dealership in the past, they say, yeah, your order's in priority 2, then you're good. You have a certified order. You don't have to bug them and bother them about that. But if you don't, you might be asking them what's going on. So just something to keep in mind. All right, next question. Is it Barbly? I'm bad with names, by the way. I'm sorry if I chop up your name. Apologize ahead of time. Says, what does the private offer mean for 23 Maverick? Will the dealer add a premium? The 22 models used now going for sale for 35. Yeah, so the private offer is basically a rebate. It's cash to you to use on an order. It's not cash. It's only cash, basically a cash rebate that you use on your order. It's basically like a rebate, but it's only for you. It's a private rebate in a sense. So instead of using an offer, you can say it's a private rebate to you. So everybody's will be different based on your 22 order. So some people that have an XLT with the luxury package will get maybe a certain amount, whereas somebody that maybe had a Lariat, Copilot, luxury with the moonroof, theirs is going to be more. So that's what that's going to look like there. So go on down. All right, Doug said, thoughts on the timing of all-electric Maverick. That's in my news. I'm going to talk about it later. Get to that in just a little bit. So somebody just gave us a donation there. All right, Gary Owens, thank you very much for giving me a donation. It says, have you heard anything from Ford or elsewhere regarding stop shipments on? Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Oh, at rail yards, for the hybrids at rail yards. Is this happening at Long MacArthur recently? We have, I looked that up the other day. What was that number? Hold on a second. Let me look that up. I actually went through last night, geeked out. I like to do that from time to time. I geeked out on all of our orders to see what's the status on all of them. And we did cancel some of our orders. Some people had taken a vehicle and didn't end up doing theirs. And since they weren't going to be taking delivery of theirs, we went ahead and canceled their order. Just because they went ahead and took delivery of a Maverick and they knew about it. I didn't cancel it without their permission, so you know that. So we had originally had 591 orders. I think we're at, gosh, come on. Why is this not? Oh, it is scrolling down. Just a lot of orders. Okay, so we're at 581 orders total. We have 186 unscheduled, 90 that have scheduled build dates or weeks. We have 17 currently either ready to go into production or getting the bed stuff put on their vehicles, or they're released and not on a train yet. We have 12 that are in transit. So we only have 12 in transit currently right now. So I don't know. We do have some that are in Kansas City, but it's not telling us why they're waiting. So anyway, so hopefully I answered that for you. So I don't know. Sometimes they're not waiting necessarily. It just could be a coincidence that's a hybrid. It could be just waiting on shipment. I mean, there's a backlog in about all those places. So just keep that in mind. All right, so Dennis said, how come dealerships can get restraint items for installation after delivery, but Ford can't get this? Okay, so let me, that is a great question, Dennis. And really, it doesn't have to do with the capacity or the part availability. Sometimes it's capacity. So think about this, a luxury package, once you put the vehicle together, it has to go over to the body company is what they call that, where they have to put a spray and liner in it. They have to put the bed rails in it. They have to put the light and the electricity back there in the bed on the side of it. So they have to add all these different accessories as part of that luxury package. that takes time. That's not something that can just be done. Now, I don't know why when they paint it, they couldn't spray the liner there. I don't know, but how that works. But from what I understand is basically all the vehicles that take those luxury package or the optional spray and liners or whatever, those get off to the body company. Vehicles that don't have a luxury package, they go right on through and they can get built a lot faster and be shipped. So there's only so many of those they can do in a day. It's not only just it's a capacity that they have. So capacity constraint, not necessarily a part constraint. So there are two different things there. So in a lot of situations, some of those, we can get spray and liner material, we can get tonneau covers, so can they. It's not a part constraint, it's more of a time constraint and how long it takes them to get those built. So hopefully I answered that for you. And that won't change for 23, by the way. All right, so Sambo Joe. My 22 order is a Lariat, and I want to order a 23 Lux package. Can I still add that to my 22 order? Order is increased. No. Luxury package is balanced out. Copilot 360 is balanced out. The optional spray and bed liner is balanced out, so you cannot add those to your order at this time, unfortunately. Or actually, fortunately for Ford. All right, so wish you luck. Like these. All right, got there as well. All right, so, oh no, it just skipped on me. Okay, it just skipped on me. I was trying to use the website here. All right, Tim, I sent an order last week. Can you check to see if I'm on the list? I can check that later. I mean, it's going to take me a while. I have a big list there, but I can always check yours out. If you send it to my email address, the one that's down there for sales, then I did receive that. Here, I always like to answer everybody if I can. So let me look it up. Wait for Google. I do not have you on my list. You might want to email me at timothybarts@gmail.com and give me that information. I do have some that I still need to go through, so unless you sent it today or yesterday, then I do not have it. So you might want to email that to me, William. So hope you got that answer there. All right. All right. Yep, don't forget to put the lawn MacArthur in front of it. I got a lot of them here. What is the chance of that eruption green will be an option for 23? I think it's a pretty good chance. You know, we're seeing that put on the Bronco, you know, so we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Probably. I would say they probably will. That's my gut. All right, Adam, I'm going to bail. I can't fathom giving Ford my money after my Maverick mess. I'll order one from you so you can sell it with a market when I back out. I owe you to, yeah, we actually will probably, if we have somebody that wants to cancel an order and it's not scheduled yet, we're probably gonna cancel those orders, because for every customer that doesn't take theirs, that is a chance that we're going to dip below 75%. So dealers have to have 75% of their ordered vehicles taken by the person that ordered their vehicle. If we dip under 75%, we lose allocations for 1 month. That's on the first strike. The next strike, I think we lose allocations for 3 months. Third strike is we lose it for a year. And if we lose allocations for a year, we just will close our doors. There's no way we could stay in business. So yeah, so hopefully other people realize that on 23 as well. I appreciate that. In the past, it hasn't been an issue, and we'd appreciate that. But if you have an order with us, you plan to cancel, let us know so we can cancel that order. That's why we started with 591 and we canceled like 10 of them for that reason. We had people that took, a couple people took our stock one instead of one they were waiting on, and some other people have some on order and they took one that did become available. We didn't get a name match on that one, but they took that one, so we canceled theirs. So we didn't want to have two name matches count against us. So just keep that in mind when you're ordering with dealers. You know, you're going to need that dealer in the future. If you have a local dealer you're ordering from, you know, and something like that happens and they get to where they can't schedule it, there are other people that are ordering with that dealership that do want their vehicles, and that can affect them getting theirs. So, you know, for us, we sell about 100 new vehicles a month, so we'd have to have 25 people not buy their vehicle that came in as an ordered vehicle. So we feel pretty good about that. We'll be all right with that. But, you know, we are keeping our eye on that now. So hopefully that doesn't happen to us. So Robert said, you may have covered this last week, but can a private offer be applied to a change in engine? Yes. So basically, when you put that order in for 23, it is a new order. You can order however you want, whatever engine you want, whatever options you want, whatever package you want, whatever trim you want. It is a new order. That private offer is just going to be deducted from whatever you order. So, make sense? The private offer amount will be based on what your 22 order was. So their goal is that if you order that identical build in 23, that you'd come out even, right? So, all right, I'm personally not worried about, but some MAV owners think their truck will blow up garage. Talk about that in a second. That's part of my Ford news. So thank you for keeping me on that and making sure I cover that. All right, Paul said, is it okay to place a 23 order with Law MacArthur as a backup order if our dealer doesn't come through? Don't want to create any problems. I don't think it's a problem as long as when you get one of them scheduled that you cancel the other one from that dealer. Like for us, if you put in a second order with us and go with your local dealer, you know, we've had people do that. You know, if yours gets scheduled before ours, you know, no harm, no foul, no problem. Let's go ahead and cancel your order with us so that we don't get dinged for that if that comes in. So the bad part would be if they both scheduled the same week. Not much you can do about that, but anyway. All right. So William said, can you see if priority code has been changed? Maverick order S57S. I think it's L57S, right? It was a 10. It's a Lux. Where was that? I think, was that an Ecoboost order? Must have been a hybrid order. Hybrid order. Where's that? Last I saw, it's a priority 2. So yeah, you're a priority 2 on that one. So pretty much anything from in October for a hybrid is a priority 2 for us. So every single one of our orders through October. Oh, there's one that's a 10 for some reason. Probably changed something on it. Yep, all of ours through October are priority 2. Well, Gary, thanks for the donation again. Keep giving those donations. I'm keeping it up. I'm working hard here. I'm going to need to get to the Ford news since a lot of people are asking about that here in just a second. But maybe we'll just throw in an article here and there while we're answering questions, but I'm a little behind. So Duke said, question, I live in Arizona and I was talking to one of my local dealers and he told me I wouldn't be able to order a 23 Maverick until November. Is this true? No, he's not true. He's uneducated. Sorry. Come on, Ford dealers. You're making us look bad. Come on. It's right there. Right on in your dealer website. Go in there. It's right there. The information's there. By the way, any Ford salesperson has access to what we call FMC Dealer. That's the internal website for dealers. Have a special login and everything. You should be logging in that every day, not just when you need to do training. A lot of people, oh, I got to do training. What's my login again? Go in there every day. There's news bulletins on, you know, right there on the homepage. And that stuff you should click on and read. It's the stuff I share. Or you could just watch my live stream. Do get it. But yes, August 2nd is when you can order. So go in there August 2nd and say, can you see if you can put one in? Just appease me here. Let's see if you can put one in. Let's find out. Oh, you can. I guess you were wrong. All right. So it says in here, I've been checking with Ford on my Bronco status, and I keep getting the response in order processing. Would a dealer know more on the status? No, that basically means that the order's in. It hasn't been scheduled yet, so you're still in process of getting scheduled. It's, you know, for us, it's also, we don't know. We can look at the constraint list and look at your order and kind of look at it and go, well, you know what, you have this on your order that might be holding it up. So it's hard to tell there. So, all right, Gary said, John's carrying reviews, and Tim, could it be due to the recall? And I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but for the reason the rail yard stopped ship. Usually they do a stop ship once it gets to the dealership. They'll go ahead and keep it transitioning along, and usually they don't stop it until it gets to the dealership, because the dealership is the one, once it's in transit, the dealership is the one that's going to do the recall. They usually won't stop it in the middle there. There could be a possibility of a dead battery or something. Sometimes we saw actually somebody with a Bronco, that a vehicle set in Kansas City for about 3 months, and it was because they went to go put it on the rail, and the battery was dead, and then so they just went on to the next one, to the next one, the next one, and never came back and dealt with that. And then finally we were like, had them look into it. Can you find out what's going on? And then come to find out, it was just a dead battery. They put a new battery in and they shipped it. You know, it's like one of those things. So, all right. Oops. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see, I skipped ahead on me here, so I don't want to skip anybody's question. Do you think the Lux package on the 23 Mav will be less luxurious, kind of like the Lux? No, I don't think so. Hopefully they take my suggestion to split that in and make a bed utility package and then a luxury package, and make it easier to get those scheduled. So that way you can get all your interior cab accessories that you want, and if you don't care about the bed accessories, and get more of those scheduled and go and built and such. All right, so David said, do you feel confident that if I change my 22 order to 23 in early August from an eco to a hybrid, that I would still be prioritized over 22? Yes. Yep. I do feel pretty confident about that. So, all right. Javier said, do you know if there would be any changes to the 23 Ford Maverick? There'll be some changes. I just don't know what they are. I'm going backwards instead of scrolling down. There we go. I was trying to find out where my screen popped down on me there. Okay, thanks for question mention to begin similar. Thanks for question mention at beginning similar, Chris Bilbert. I think the answer may be if you have a COVP, which I do, it depends on your commodity constraints. Power boost. Yes. Yes. Didn't get what his question was, but you're correct in your answer, it sounds like. All right. Sadiq said, do you okay. All right, now we're down here. Will Ford go back to the original allocation system? They're kind of going to that. They're still using that allocation system. We earn allocations based on the COVP orders that we have, also based on the allocations that they give our region. So our region earns so many allocations for each of the different models. Then they base that on how many COVP orders that each of the dealerships within the region has, and divide them up that way. I will tell you that for us, they've been doing the orders. I think on the Maverick, they've been trying to do those early orders and going in that timeline. Well, there was a month there where we had a bunch of allocations that we earned, and I pushed those early orders to the brand manager. Said we really need to get these early orders scheduled, and so they did. They pushed all of our early orders, but I don't think they did that for other dealers. And so that's why, like, now we're getting a smaller allocation number, whereas like I think Granger Ford, which is in our region, is getting a larger number because they probably have more of the older orders than what we do, so they can get scheduled. So that their goal is within that region, they're looking at the dates on those orders. And typically they don't always do that on the other vehicles, so we'll just have to see. So hopefully they go back to that. You know, if you're within a region and, let's say we have 0, August orders, which we do now, they're all scheduled. But there's, 3 other dealerships that have August orders. They should get an allocation before we do, so that those people can get theirs fulfilled by their timeline, right? That's kind of the goal there. So hopefully they kind of keep to that. I think that's a great system. But you will probably earn allocations for the most part that way. So. Strokes said, if I become a 23 and don't make any changes, can the dealer just resubmit, or do I have to go in and do paperwork? You don't have to go in necessarily. We did all of ours via DocuSign and email, but you still, it's a brand new order, so you will have to go through and get the signatures and everything else like that all over again. So yeah, you will have to do that. We had to do that on our Bronco customers too. All right. Whoa. Oh, I just skipped up one again. All right. Oh, maybe not. Hold on a second. Do you think the Copilot and XLT will cause schedule delays in 23? Yes, delays won't stop. They're still going to have you're still going to struggle getting certain parts right now. chips I don't think is an issue really as much anymore. I think that's all been taken care of. But we have seen, you know, they're still going to have some constraints, especially those luxury packages. Unless they change that and split that up, we're still going to see an issue with those in 23 as well. So, and that's something I didn't mention. I was going to mention was, what is the best way to order a 23 to get it quickly? You know, stay away from the constrained items that are currently going on 22. Keep away from those bed accessories. Keep away from the splash guards. Keep away from those things you can add on your vehicle. You know, one of the things that the video that I did for our customers was, when you're going through and ordering those, one of our members just sent me a text. I'm in the middle of a live stream. You want to look at that. Don't put those things that are on the constrained items. If it's something you can get at the dealership later, keep that off your build. On my Lightning, even though I thought they were going to go in order, my Lightning's coming in. I'm going to have a bed cover put on it. I'm going to have a spray and bed liner put on it before I take delivery. You know, those are things I did not put on my build because I did not want to delay it whatsoever. And so that might have helped it, you know, get scheduled and get built a little bit faster. So still going to be an issue there. All right. So if then what? Okay, I don't know. There's a bunch of letters put together. Thanks for doing this. I ordered an FX4 non-copilot, good, 10 months ago from a non-commutative dealer in Florida. I've since moved to another state. Can I change to a local dealer? Yes, you will not get prioritization, but you will get that. Now, you can't move your current order over to that dealer. You could contact your local dealer where you're at now and say, would you allow me to do a courtesy delivery on my order? And if they say yes, because now I've moved, you can let the dealership you originally ordered with give them that information so that they could have it drop shipped there instead of in Florida. But you'll want to do that. But on a new carryover for 23, you order with your local dealer, you would not get prioritization. It would be like putting in a new 23, but you'll get that private offer. So we do have a new member. I didn't get his name before it just went by. Who was it? Oh yeah, David Newman. Welcome to the Law MacArthur crew member. Appreciate it. Don't forget to check out those the videos on there under the membership section. Now that you're a member. All right. Yep. Don't forget to put at Law MacArthur. Thank you, Ridgeview. Eric said, so I should order an XL hybrid for 2023 and take advantage of the private offer on the Ecoboost all-wheel drive FX4 for the. Yep. Yep, that will help. That you can do. All right, Javier said, do you think there would be any new colors for 23 Maverick? Yes. About every year, there's always one or two that get discontinued and one or two that new ones. So what new ones? I don't know, but we'll just have to see. So I do want to get, am I getting close to the end down here? Got another new member, Paul S. Welcome to the Law MacArthur crew. Don't forget to, and Gary Owens as well. Thank you. All right. Member. Don't forget to email us your mailing address. We have a special member packet to send to you. All right. Adam said, do you think if I order my 23, I will be rolled over to 24 or 25? No, I don't. If you have a 22 and you have to order a 23, you should get prioritized over the others. So there's no reason why you shouldn't get, as long as you're, you know, it depends on constraint items, you still should get one before a lot of the 23 people. So you should be good there. So. All right. Would you expect my 23 Maverick with a luxury package to have the drop-in liner instead of the spray-in? Not unless you ordered it that way. So it's going to be however it is on your order sheet. So pull out your order sheet and see what it says on there. That's how it's going to be built. Guarantee you. So we are getting vehicles, like we had some scheduled this week, in fact. Let's check that out. So we had some July orders scheduled this week with the luxury package. They will have the spray-in bed liner. So if you ordered later to where that luxury package is a drop-in liner, then you'll get a drop-in liner. If you ordered it before a certain date, that luxury package for the XLT trim, I should say, will be the spray-in bed liner. It's however you ordered your vehicle. So look at your order sheet. That's how it should be built. I think some people said that, oh, mine wasn't built that way, and I think that their dealer switched them because they thought that was holding their vehicle up. And so instead of checking with them and ask them, they went ahead and just made that switch. All right. So Vicky said, please check my order D39S. What am I checking it for? D39S. I think you've already been scheduled. Maybe you're wanting to know your build, if your build date's moved. I don't even have Webdo open. It won't take me long. While I'm looking that one up, D39S, I'll try to remember that. See if I missed any other questions up here. Somebody from NASA said, F-150 Power Boost, do I need to order max trailer tow or just trailer tow package, seeing as how Power Boost already comes with the 373 gears? Looks like only difference between the two. There are some other things that's included in the max trailer tow package they really don't tell you about in the order guide. And one of those is that you know, you get, like, I think you get upgraded rear bumper and some other things. So if you really wanted to go into max towing, you do want to get that trailer tow package. Although on the Power Boost, I'm not sure. I think that it's been a while since I did the information on the 21 or for 22, but we'll be doing 23 real soon, so we'll go into that. But that's really up to you what you want to do. But you do get more out of that max trailer tow package. There's some stuff there that just is not really publicized much that helps increase that towing. All right, so looking that up, Maverick D39S, right? And the chat is quiet. All right. And it is been built. It is just returned from, what's it say? Returned from the body company. So it looks like they got all your stuff from the luxury package on your vehicle. It's returned back to the plant. So it should be released real soon. So awesome, Vicky. Cool, cool, cool. And I need to make sure I put you down so that comes in. Make sure I know that we have a member with an order with us, right? All right, so moving on down. Would you expect 23 Mavericks with the luxury package to have a drop in? Okay, I actually answered that. Oh, and now we just skipped way down to the bottom. All right, I want to make sure I'll get these last 4 questions here, and then I'm going to get into the Ford news here since it is 8 o'clock. Actually, I'm going to do it. Let's do it right now and answer these questions here. Did I miss the news? Nope. I'm just about ready to talk about that, Doug. And I want to ask a dealer about signed order. Possible to provide them an out-the-door signed contract price. Should be able to. I'm kind of answering these questions. I know I said I wouldn't, but I want to get them answered. Doug says, assuming the new 23 order avoids the items causing delays, what is your best guess for a delivery? You know, I know some of the early 23s will be, you know, December deliveries, but probably a lot of those are going to be the 22 orders that are going to be prioritized over 23. Probably the first 23 orders, you're probably looking probably January, February, probably. That would be my guess. So, Han Solo says, does Ford move you to priority 2, or does my dealer need to get in contact with the Ford regional up to get this done? Actually, that is one of my other questions I had, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So there is some confusion on the priority status. So basically what the priority status is kind of the dealer puts in your priority, and they can put in anything from a 10 to 19. Anything below that, it's the region is pulling those orders down. And so the question is, how do you get a priority 2? And what's the purpose behind that? So when the region is looking and saying, okay, you're getting allocated with 20 orders this month, they're going to look at those orders, the 20 that they would like to pull, based on the 20 next orders. So usually those are the 20 that then will get a priority 2 status, so that the factory looks at those orders first and tries to schedule them. But if, let's say, your order has a luxury package and Copilot, which is constrained, and then they go to pull that one and you're priority 2, but they can't build yours because of those restrictions or the constraints, they're going to pass your order up, even though you're priority 2, and move to another order that could be a priority 10. So that's sometimes how that happens. And so basically, if you've been given a priority 2 at some point, your order was given allocations to the dealership because of your order. Now, you can make changes to your order. I've had some people say, I had a priority 2 order, now I have a priority 10 order. Why is that happening? Well, probably your dealership made a change to your order. To make that change, they have to put a priority 10 and forgot to call the Ford rep to change it back to a 2, which is an easy thing to do there. Okay, talk about some Ford news, and one of them is the recall. A lot of people want some information on this, and I will tell you, I found a couple different sources out there for news, and I find Ford Authority is probably the top when it comes to this, and they're the most accurate. And so I do like to use Ford Authority articles. So I did dig and find one from Ford Authority. It says Ford Maverick Escape Lincoln Corsair hybrids recalled over fire risk. So this is not just the Maverick hybrids, but also the Escape and Corsair hybrids and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Right? So it says in affected vehicles, a crankshaft machining problem can cause the engine to fail. The engine failure can cause significant amounts of oil and fuel vapor to leak onto hot parts, potentially causing a fire. So far, Ford has received 23 reports of fires related to this issue globally, but the problem has since been fixed in production. So now it is saying it's fixed in production, so shouldn't be any problem with any of them built from here on out. Keep that in mind. If your VIN comes up, when let's say we have 4 right now on what they call stop sale, which means we have to get the recall done before they can be sold. So it says Ford is not aware of any accidents or injuries related to this condition, and then the fix is the dealers will add drain holes to an underhood shield and change the active grille shutters to allow more airflow and reduce underhood temperatures to below ignition points of fuel vapor or engine oil. So it does say this. The communications from Ford will start happening August 8th. So you'll probably get a letter in the mail, or it'll also show up in your Ford app. Mark Meyer, thank you for becoming a member of the Law MacArthur crew. Appreciate that. Another recall we'll talk about: Ford Explorer, Lincoln Aviator recalled over engine rail safety issue. So says Ford is recalling the 22 Ford Explorer and Lincoln Aviator models due to an engine rail safety issue. In affected vehicles, the engine rails may have been improperly heat treated. So improperly heat treated engine rails may reduce the vehicle's structural protection in a crash, increasing the risk of injury. Additionally, an engine rail may detach and contact the road while driving, increasing the risk of a crash. So it said Ford is not aware of any accidents or injuries related to this issue, and the affected vehicles are 22 Ford Explorers built between April 4th, 2022 and May 4th, 2022, so just 1 month there, and as well as certain Lincoln Aviators produced April 4th to May 3rd. So if you have those dates, of course, you'll get a recall notice. It says dealers will perform an engine rail strength test and replace the rails as necessary free of charge. If the engine rails require replacement, owners will have the option of a vehicle replacement or buyback. That's the first time I've seen that in a while. So wait for communication from Ford, which will begin August 1st. And there's a part number on there. But I'll put the articles in after the live stream here for those. Now, you guys want me to go on to a couple of other articles about the Lightning trademark, I should say, or answer more questions? There's not too many questions in there. Let me go ahead and answer go over this here. So, Ford Authority also noticed that the Ranger Lightning trademark was filed in Europe. Don't forget that word, in Europe, hints at a future EV pickup. So, Ford Motor Company has filed the trademark Ford or Ranger Lightning with the European Union Intellectual Property Office. This application contains the goods and services description of motor vehicles, namely automobiles, pickup trucks, electric vehicles in the nature of automobiles, pickup trucks, sport utility vehicles, and their structural parts. So, as a part of an 8-year production run, the new Ranger will be undergoing an electric transformation of sorts with hybrid power plants expected for both the Ranger and Ranger Raptor, but it also seems to be as if an all-electric version is inevitable as well. Not a real big surprise because Europe is trying to go all-electric by 2030, and this is Ford's way of being able to do that is to electrify that as well. So the Ford Ranger. So we're seeing the Ranger Lightning trademark, and again, this was filed in Europe, not in the U.S., so keep that in mind. And they did the same thing for the Maverick. So the Maverick Lightning trademark was filed. Again, this was in Europe, not in the U.S., and Ford Authority actually had to take on the article that I'll link after when I'm done. I'll post that link up there. And according to them, they think that it appears that this filing for the Maverick Lightning indicates that the automaker is considering an all-electric version of the Ford Maverick, and that both it and the Ford Ranger EV could carry the same Lightning name that exists for the F-150 Lightning. What's particularly interesting about this trademark filing is the fact that last June, Ford said that it would not be selling the Maverick in Europe, but yet they did a trademark for the name in Europe. So that says it probably will. So an all-electric version of the Ford Maverick seems almost like a foregone conclusion at this point, however, particularly as Ford transitions toward a fully electrified lineup in Europe. So there you go. But that, again, those were filed in Europe. We don't know how that'll transition to the U.S. or not, but I'm just going to go over that. So, and lastly, the F-150 Raptor R will debut the same day the order banks open up. Why not? July 18th. So we know exactly when the 23 F-150 Raptor R will debut, is what the article says, as the automaker itself has confirmed via Twitter. Ford's tweet referred to the F-150 Raptor R as being scary fast, even showing a cactus in flames to drive that point home. That promise would be easily fulfilled by the supercharged 5.2-liter V8 Predator power plant that the Raptor R will come equipped with, which is expected to produce 750 horsepower, and it'll have the 10-speed automatic transmission. Cool. So there'll also be some exterior things to note that it's the Raptor R, like the logo on the grille, and then its own different wheel, I believe, as well, and of course the nice sound that it'll have. And so that is going to be released, and you'll be able to order those on the 18th. So they're going to open up the order banks for the Raptor R at the same time as the F-150. So a lot of stuff going on coming up in just a week. So we'll have some stuff. We'll have some fun that day. Nice Monday there. All right. So KDT said, if my ordered is scheduled for August 22nd, it's too late to add the hitch. Probably so. We've always been told that once a vehicle gets scheduled, you really can't make any changes to that order. It was picked that way for a reason. You can change colors pretty easily, but changing and adding things is almost impossible. So does a 22 power, and really usually going back to that, we have actually had some seat changes. Some people have noticed, hey, wait, I meant to have a bench seat, not a bucket seat in the second row on an SUV. Sometimes we have to go through our region, and then they have to contact the factory, and they have to get the change done that way. Very difficult to do. That's why we say make sure you know how you want it built, and leave it alone. Colors can be changed pretty easily, but that's about all. All right, so Handyman 13 said, does 22 Power Boost come with hill descent? I thought I just bought one and I can't find it. Oh, I'd have to look that up. No, hill descent would be part of the FX4 package, so it would not come standard. Maybe I'm thinking hill start assist. Now I got to look it up because now I can't remember. Let me look that up real quick. I keep a copy of those just for these reasons. 22. Skipped over it here. F-150. So, well, and I don't, yeah, basically it would be looking to see if it's standard equipment on even an XL. It wouldn't be based on the Power Boost itself. It would be based on just whether or not it's standard on an XL trim for the most part there. And I might have to look this one up and come back to it because I don't know how easily and quickly I can find that. So I don't think he'll start, or descent control, I believe, is part of the FX4 package, if I'm not mistaken. There might be some other packages that will get that as well, but it doesn't look like it's listed under the hill start assist is standard equipment, but hill descent control is actually part of the FX4 package. So yeah, there you go. Had to go through that. It's been a little while since I looked at the F-150 order guide. So Tim, can you look up my order status? A DO1T. I could probably do that. It is currently unscheduled. Priority 2 was ordered in, it was ordered in October, end of October. It's probably going to be, we probably won't get that one scheduled this month. It's probably looking at a next month if we're lucky, or it might get pushed to 23. So, hate giving bad news, but it is what it is. All right. If I missed any other comment or any questions, go ahead and post this in there now. I apologize for missing it. Trying to get as much like cool news and updates and everything to you guys, but also want to, you know, make sure I answer your questions. So, all right. All right. EMGT said Lon MacArthur. Make sure you spell Lon MacArthur. I almost missed this one. When Ford states it's in order processing, does that mean the order is approved order? Not necessarily. It just means the order is submitted. So, because, you know, the reason is a lot of people, you know, are complain about that, or worried, you know, saying, hey, how do I know? Because I have my order submitted. I got the email from Ford. Well, the original order way of doing it, that COVP is a new system from Ford that's about a year old now. And, you know, that wasn't part of the original ordering system. So that's a new part of that. So it would be really nice if, you know, Ford would communicate to the customers that they have an approved order. So why not add that so that an email comes back to the dealer when they get an approved order? They get an email that comes back to the person that submitted that. Why not copy in the person that has the order as well? You know, hey, your order is approved. That was an easy fix. So I'm sure Ford doesn't watch this video, especially an hour and 17 minutes in, but it'd be really nice if they could do that. If they're going to continue the COVP process, they've got to be a way to communicate that to the dealer. Blanca, thank you for the donation. Love the image there. I'm number one. I appreciate that. So you're so nice. Christopher said, my Maverick has shipped, but it still takes a month to get. Why? Has to go from Mexico to wherever you're at. Sometimes it depends on if you're down on the West Coast, it only takes a couple weeks, but they still will allow a month just because, you know, here's a good instance. And actually was going to bounce this off and kind of mention and talk about this as it's actually a possible topic. So maybe I should leave it for next week. But I have a vehicle, my F-150 Lightning. It shipped out last week. I think it was shipped out on the Thursday, arrived in Kansas City Monday. So I got a notification, I went in there every day. The first thing I do every day is check the order status of my Expedition and my F-150 Lightning. That's just a ritual. Ford news, any new order guides come out, and then how's my vehicle looking? Where's it at? Any updates or anything? So I looked that up, and the Lightning got there in like 3 days. It got put on a rail and left the rail and arrived in Kansas City in 3 days. So why does that take a month? Well, first of all, it was released, so usually it takes a little while for it to go from the factory and get put on the rail, and that was actually a couple days for that to happen. And then it got here. So it really took about a week to get, once it was released from the plant, to get on a rail and get processed and get to Kansas City and get off there. It actually took, 5 to 7 days. And now, okay, we have 3 weeks. So it's going to take 3 weeks for it to get from there to here. And I'm like, should it take 3 weeks? I mean, come on. So, but it just really depends. Again, there's a log. There's those trains come into Kansas City from the Kentucky plant, from Michigan, from from Mexico, they're from Chicago. They're all coming in to those different places, and dropping vehicles off. And there's all these vehicles. Now they got to get shippers to ship those 6 to 8 at a time to their dealers. They come on the rails a lot more than that at one time, and then they got to get distributed. So they usually, I think, allow at least about 2 weeks once they get there. Yeah, we've always noticed in the past, once a vehicle gets to Kansas City, we allow about 2 weeks for that vehicle to show up. Right, lately it seems like it's been 3 weeks. So that's why they allow 4 weeks. Because once it gets to certain places, it can still take some time. So, hey Tim, on the Maverick tracker, does the final preparation stage mean the truck is at the dealer? My Maverick has been shipped, is in shipped stage since June 1st. Yes, final preparations means it should be at the dealership. We have seen that be incorrect a couple times. We actually had one, that email went out and said it's in final preparations, and it had not arrived here yet. And we actually had someone that got that email and went ahead and got flights and flew in to into Salina and ready to pick their vehicle up, and it wasn't here yet. And we called, Kansas City. It was in Kansas City. We're like, where's it at? We need it. They couldn't find it. We put them in a vehicle, a loaner vehicle, so they could drive back, and said, we'll ship it to you or something, And so sometimes it doesn't happen like that. So we always make sure the vehicle's here. Let's do paperwork. Let's make sure it's good to go before you make those travel arrangements. But sometimes that happens. But yeah, it's been in that ship status. It's probably stuck at one of the areas, like for us, it's Kansas City. I don't know what they call that. Distribution centers is what I like to call it. It's probably stuck in one of those places with the backlog at this point, more than likely. Heck, my expedition's been setting released since May 29th. It still has not left on a rail yet. Hello, Ford. So that is frustrating. Another situation, okay, just to I have all these situations, but F-150 Lightning, right? Mine got produced. My vehicle was scheduled or was built 1 month after the first person that ordered. I was the second person to order here at the dealership. The first person ordered at the dealership was built a month before mine, was produced a month before mine. We both got the same email at the same time that it was released from the factory, right? Mine shipped out 2 days later. His is still sitting there. So mine is in Kansas City. His is still there, and his was built a month before mine. Same situation with the expedition that we have. It was built March 28th is when it was actually built. Waiting for a chip hold for a month and everything. We've delivered 5 expeditions have showed up here, and mine was the very first one built at our dealership, and it has been passed over by 5 other expeditions within our dealership, let alone all the other dealers. We have vehicles that were built in May that showed up for deliveries, and mine was built 2 months prior to it and still got passed by. I don't think they have a great process right there. It's definitely not a first in, first out by any means. So sometimes it's just luck on some of your vehicles. Some of them get done really smoothly. They get built, sent out, put on a train right away, get there, get where they need to, and get moved out and processed quickly. And some of them get overlooked and go overlooked for some reason. So only thing I can think of is my expedition sitting there with a dead battery or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I know it doesn't help the situation any, but that's probably the case. I'd have your dealership call their Ford rep and see what they can accomplish, though. See what's going on. Now, if it does say final preparations, you might check with your dealer anyway, because it could be at your dealership. All right, so Keymont05 says, I live in Texas. Would I be able to place an order for Maverick with you and get it shipped to Texas, free shipping? If you finance with us, then yes, it's not a problem. I think that's within $1,000. We cover the first $1,000 of travel expenses or shipping cost to you if you finance with us. So yes, we can do that. So, all right. A quick recap for 23 Maverick reordering for those that showed late. Yeah, I mean, I do have a video. Where are my notes for that? Yeah, basically, I've said, go in, configure a 22 order off the configure, send that order to your dealer as a pre-order so that they can submit that order as quickly as possible and get that in there, knowing that things can be updated and changed once we get information on 23. But I would, explain a little bit more detail at that. This video will be live and be able to be viewed when we're done here, and you can go back and watch that. So I'd highly recommend you do that. It'd be right around the 35-minute time spot. So I won't have the timestamps in there yet, but go ahead and fast forward to 35 minutes, and that's about when we started talking about it. So. All right, John said, daughter's Mav paperwork was lost, and they never processed $500 until like May, still a 10, and the dealer said, sorry, it was a 1st November order. November orders aren't being scheduled yet, so, yep. All right. I do have Sarah in there. Thank you, Sarah, for popping in. Review is my moderator. Sarah jumps in. I know she's in there as moderator, but she jumps in, and she's been answering a lot of questions for me. So I will say, if you do send a question through the Ford Video Guy at Gmail, getting a lot of questions every day, and she owns a Maverick. Actually, she sits right behind this camera. Actually, it's where she sits, and that's where her desk is. So she's in there answering a lot of those questions for me, and a lot of them she knows those answers. She's got them. We do have an FAQ sheet that I eventually would like to. I'm going to put on our website for that, but we have FAQs that she can use. But a lot of these things she knows these answers because she's in these live streams with you guys, and she knows those answers. So if you do have some questions, send those. Sarah's gonna be responding to those and taking care of those. I wish I could stop and answer every single one of them, and I do as many as I can. But she'll get the most important thing is that we get you an accurate answer to you as quickly as possible. And we got a little behind, so I have her helping me out to get caught up. And I think we're up to like July 3rd, I think 4th maybe. So we're about a week behind still, but we'll get those answers to you guys as quickly as possible. So yeah, so there you go. And she's for the members. She's your connection there for the members. So she's taking on that and helped me out a lot with that and getting those things out and getting and connecting. And she gets to know your guys' names real well. So thank you to Sarah. So. All right. Dennis said, if my 22 Mav is switched to 23 and I have to reorder, will my priority be affected by when I actually place the new order? Well, from what they're telling us, they haven't told us the process yet in doing that, but they did tell us that the 22 orders would be prioritized in order over the 23. So they are saying even if you have an early one, they did comment to us that even those earlier ones will get more priority over the later 22 orders and so on. So, all right. So, thank you. Let's say any other questions? Just go ahead and submit those. I don't know if I have anything else there. All right, Sarah. Okay, how do you become a member? Yeah, Sarah can probably help you out with that, but we do have an image for that. So you can go there. Now, I have found out that if you're on a tablet, this probably is not visible, but there is a join button right beside where you would subscribe. If you're already subscribed, it'll be probably grayed out and say subscribed already, but it'll be by that button down there. On any of our videos, right under there, you're going to see where the Lon MacArthur YouTube channel is. Right on that same line to the right part of that, you'll see that join or subscribe. If you're not seeing it, if you're on a tablet, you probably can't see it. That's where that's going to be located, so you can join. So, and there's a link in the description as well. So if you open up the description, there's a link there. Click on that link and it goes to our channel page. And on that page, right under the banner image, again on the right side is that join button as well. So. In fact, I used to use that graphic. I don't know if I still have it in my notes in here. I don't think I do. I think I took it out. But I used to have that image in there too, so you could see it. But. All right, so Dale says, if my build day has passed last week and I have not heard anything, do you think it was built before the plant closed? Not sure. Now, unless your build date got pushed. We had some people that I had sent out emails that it was supposed to be built, June or July or whatever, and the date had passed. And we looked up their order, and their order actually had gotten pushed. So that's something to think about as well if your order got pushed. But otherwise, hopefully, yeah. But I do know that some of the vehicles are. Looks like the body companies are still working, even though the plants, so they're not building vehicles, but they are still trying to process the vehicles, I think, that are being built, and they're probably doing that this week. So more than likely it could still get processed in through this week. All right, Rick and Kelly said, Tim, what date is the Lakewood Park Maverick event? I missed that earlier. It is August 13th, and again, it is free to everybody. So it is not, just our members. There is a special thing for our members. There is a special get-together Friday night that is just for members, and we'll have information to the members if you check out the membership information. And I'll talk about it again this week on Saturday. But for anybody else, it is free. It is a great event. It'll be fun. It's like a car show, basically. You're going to come. It's like sometimes Morocco does this too. They do meetups and such, where they come. You come in, park your Maverick in there. If you bring your Maverick, if you don't have a Maverick yet, you can still come check out other people's Mavericks, see what colors they chose, what accessories they added to their vehicle, that kind of thing. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be there. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff to do. It's going to be a nice family event. By the way, I ordered some G Fuel. We'll have some G Fuel there. So I'll be giving away some G Fuel while supplies last, that kind of thing. So you want to definitely come by. Look for the... hopefully it's there by now. I probably shouldn't say anything yet, but look for the F-150 Lightning. If mine's not there, I will have the dealership's demo Lightning there. Either way, we're going to have a Lightning, so look for the F-150 Lightning and come get some G Fuel and everything. Love to chat and see you. So definitely come and check out the event. So if you're in the Midwest, come on over. I know we have a couple members that are going to fly in, and again, so just depends. So if you're able to come in, that'd be great. I'd love to see you guys come to this. And this is going to be a yearly event. Usually when it's the very first year of an event, you don't say first annual. That's something I guess you're not supposed to say. But this is really a first annual Midwest Maverick meetup. We're going to do this every year. So if you can't make it this year, great, get your Maverick and then come next year, right? We'll have fun with this. So basically make sure you're following us on social media so you can remember that. All right, Kev, Sam, thank you for becoming a member. What is that, like 4 or 5 tonight? So that's awesome. So thank you very much. I think you'll enjoy some of the perks. So definitely check those out. They are listed. Once you've become a member, you click on that, you can actually see the perks. And you can see that information and how you get those perks. So you definitely want to make sure you're emailing Sarah and getting those perks, right? So, all right. I always tell everybody, every time I talk to the members on Saturdays, I said, I really feel like, the goal of the membership it's not a revenue generating thing. It's a way that I can stay connected closer to people that want to learn more about me and about the dealership and such. And we have a lot of fun, do some fun videos, but also give you some other little things just so that you feel, I really think you guys are special. So I think it's a lot of fun. So, all right. All right, you're on a tablet. Cool. Figured out. Good. Glad you got in there. All right, so we're 8:30. Got any other questions there? Yeah, Sarah. Looks like I'll be busy tomorrow. Yep. We always plan time on Wednesday to do any member send things out, update our member list, everything every Wednesday. So, yep, you're gonna be busy tomorrow. So, all right. And if you're actually listening in, Sarah, don't forget Vicky is a member that has a vehicle on order with us. So you know what that means. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. It's fun hanging out. All right. Got a new subscriber as well. So a lot of new stuff going on here. So, all right. Thank you very much. Anything else we got? Anything else on your mind I need to cover, talk about? That's what I'm here for. I actually enjoy these live streams every Tuesday night. All right. Does someone get a build sheet after purchase and delivery? Get a build sheet. Your window sticker will come with the vehicle, and your build sheet that is printed for you when you order your vehicle, that is yours to keep. So you don't have to hand that back in. Other than that, there's not when you get the vehicle, the only thing that they send with it is the window sticker, so you don't get necessarily a original order sheet or build sheet. So it's just going to be your window sticker. All right. Thank you to my members that are in there. Don't forget, most of you already subscribed, but if you're not subscribed, I'm going to hit that down there again. Hit that red subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you can get notified, because we're going to have some stuff coming on. I mean, this next couple of weeks are going to be crazy. Of course, hopefully we get order guides towards the end of this week and we get more information. The only reason I think we may not get one on the F-150 is because they're going to release information on the Raptor on Monday, so they may hold off and not give that. You know, Ford, you could do is make a separate Raptor order guide. Something to think about. Throwing that out there, so that way we can, as dealers, get information, so we could figure that out. So, all right. Yep, don't forget to smash the like button. I really appreciate it. But I think that's all for us tonight. So do appreciate everyone for jumping in here. We had a really good group tonight, and big crowd, so I do appreciate you guys for joining me. Don't forget to check out the Johnny's Car Care and Reviews YouTube channel. It's linked in the description as well. When I get off and close out on this, I'll drop those links to those articles if you want to go back and read those on the recalls, as well as the Maverick and the Ranger Lightning trademarks and everything, so you can check out those articles. Just follow Ford Authority. I follow them on Twitter, so I get all those notifications, but you can go to their website, check that out. They always have some good articles, and they're really good for news. And I think 99, you know, I'm just same with Johnny. 99% of the time, Ford Authority is on it, and they know what they're doing, and they're really good journalists there, and really good articles. So anyway, so yeah, I think that's about it. So other than that, thank you guys for joining me. If you have any other questions, fordvideoguy@gmail.com. Might allow a couple days to get those responded, but we'll get to them and we'll get those answered for you. And do appreciate you guys for joining me and giving me something to talk about each week. And don't forget, if you have a feel-good moment for us, send those to us as well, fordvideoguy@gmail.com. Love getting those. And until next week, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining me. We'll see ya.